Well, hello, traders. It is Friday, September 20th, 2024. End of a pretty good week for us. We had a great week trading in both the main trading account and the lazy trader account. Go through both of those with you today. We'll take a look at what the markets did, and we'll touch base just a little bit on the trading plan that we've got going forward. But overall, great last 2 weeks, been fantastic. We're really back on track, back to making profits again. So this has been a good start to the month of September. Only got 10 days to go. We're looking at a great month here shaping up. So let's get into the accounts. We'll talk about what we're trading now. We'll take a look at the accounts. And then if you want to take a look at some charts, we can. I'm going to give you some trade ideas as well that I saw out there today. So we'll talk about some of the different trade opportunities that we are seeing. So let me go into the main accounts here, and let's just take a look at where we were. So last week we ended with a great week, up about $4,700 last week, and then this week up almost $7,600 and some odd dollars. So really good week this week. Two great back-to-back weeks. In fact, the week before that was down a little bit. That was mainly from a roll, and that roll is in oil, which is now up $4,300 on that. So that roll in oil, we should see some continued profits out of that, hopefully. So that'll more than offset that. So we got at least another probably $6,000 on that oil trade to add to it. So how do we end the week? 265 on delta. So we were down to almost a delta neutral of zero yesterday. Popped back up today a bit, mainly because we added two new trades today. So still very delta neutral at 0.07%. Theta popped back up today. Again, we added two extra trades. So we're sitting at 0.25. Still a little light on theta, but it's all good. Net lick moved up again. So net lick has now hit, I believe, the highest point it has in the last 2 months. So 358, 785. So new recent highs in our net lick. BP usage pretty much stayed the same. In fact, I think I updated it for today. So let me take a quick look here and let's update this number. So 203,623. All right, so BP usage popped up a bit. We're still sitting at 47% when you subtract our bill usage, so we're really in good shape. We did not close any trades today. Thought about getting into zero DTE, but we got a little bit busy. We haven't really done any zero DTE trades for a week. I've been pretty busy this week on a variety of different projects and things that we're working on, which I'll talk about more in just a few minutes. But overall, we've had a great week. So booked $7,600, one of the best weeks of trading that we have had this year. So great 2 weeks. Overall, we're up almost $13,000 now, over 13,000, or over 12,000, I should say. A little over 12,000 now in just these last 2 weeks alone, 12,335. So not too shabby. Back on it, killing it here in the main trading account. And if we look at the lazy trader account, we don't take trades off quite as much, but had a good week last week, 1979, so almost $2,000 last week, and we almost doubled that amount this week. So we're up 3588 this week. So lazy trader account is at, or at least as of yesterday, was at an all-time high. So yes, an all-time high in this trading account. It dropped a fraction today, down 243, 673. So yeah, that's where we ended the day today, mainly because we had a couple things dropping, mainly Soundhound, which was one of our trades, dropped a bit today. It was only down a couple cents, but it did drop a little on the day. But mainly it was our SPY leaps, because the S&P was down a fraction today. So SPY leaps dropped a bit today. They're still up nicely overall. And then our TMF shares are down $135 today. And then our end phase trade is down $216. Everything else hanging in there pretty well. MicroStrategy was up nicely today. XLE up nicely today. Our CleanSpark up nicely today. Google Trade up nicely today. So lots of great things happening in the Lazy Trader account. Now, what are we trading there? What's it look like? Let's at least look at what we closed so you can get a sense of what I'm trading. So today we closed naked puts on Constellation Energy Group. So this was a leap play that I put in play back on the 6th of September. And I was looking to really leave this thing on for at least 50% to 80, 100% gain on this thing. And instead of waiting for basically 5 months on this thing, in 14 days, we made almost 70%. So I closed it today. So great call on that one. We made really good money, booked almost $2,100 on that leap in 14 days. Then yesterday we closed 3 trades. It didn't get on video yesterday, but yesterday we also booked almost $1,500 in profit yesterday. So one of those was closing our IWM poor man's covered call. It moved up so much that we just closed the entire trade for a nice winner. I think over 14% in less than a month on the IWM trade. And then we also closed our TLT call that we had bought. So we bought a leap on TLT, and we made almost 18% on that in just 7 days on it. So this was a covered call that we sold on it. So it made about made a bunch of money on that one. So the covered call on TLT here booked 18% on that, and fantastic trade. But we closed out the long TLT free leap call. Sorry, I guess I covered call, but it was the free leap long call. So overall, good week this week closing trades. We don't expect to close a ton, but we had 2 great trades that closed. All right, so there's the Lazy Trader account. And then if we look at the main Income Navigator trading account, again, over 12 grand this in the last 2 weeks. What did we close? And if you look at what we closed in the last couple of weeks, the only things closing on here typically for losses have been hedges. Go figure. Hedges still the drag on the portfolio overall, but we really didn't lose a ton on these hedges, and it's always good to have the proper hedges on. So no worries. But nothing closed today, but yesterday we did close a gold put spread for a 50% winner in 7 days. We closed a MicroStrategy put spread for a 50% winner in 27 days. We closed a silver put spread for a 50% winner in just 8 days. And then we also closed a naked put in ES, which was part of a 120-day naked put that we did. We were in that trade for 71 days, got our 50%, 48% on that. So great day yesterday. So overall, things are in really pretty good shape. I love where we are. The setup of where we are in these accounts is really, really, really good. Pretty happy with what we're doing overall in this account. And if you want, let's just walk through the main trading account with you. So let me go through the main trading account. We did add new trades today, so you get a chance to see some of the trades I added today, but I'll keep things moving for you pretty quickly here. And let's take a look at where we were overall today. So let me share screen. And let's just jump into the main trading account. So what do we got running here? Well, we have 2 Strangles on the Aussie dollar. One's up 30%, one's down a little bit. It's a little more recent trade. It's only down a couple $100, so that's all good. Oil, we've got a naked put here, part of an 112. We've already actually closed the put debit spread for a winner, so now we're just going to hold on to this naked put, and we'll wait till about 90%, and we'll close this one. We're up about 2 grand on that. We also have another 112 in oil. That thing's up 51%. And then we have a naked put, as I mentioned, that we had rolled. We're up over $4,000 on this trade in 14 days. But we're going to let that thing cook a little bit more since it was a rolled put. In ES, a lot of trades on. We've got our long-term 111s on. And again, right now, I'm trading the long-term 111 trades. Okay? So because of that, and the reason being was I wanted to reduce a little bit of my notional and a little bit of my risk level while I really put together a really good, solid volatility hedge. I will most likely at some point go back to the 112 once I feel I have the right hedge in place. Let's talk briefly about delta hedges, volatility hedges. So for years, the 112 strategy has been, in my opinion, the best trading strategy I have ever traded. We have made an absolute ton of money. We have more than doubled our account size over the last 4 years. We've actually doubled it almost twice. Okay, so we've really gone from about 100 to 200,000, and from about 200,000 over 400, almost 500,000 in the account. Okay, then we dropped back a little bit into the 350,000, almost 360,000 range, since we took a hit on some experimental 112 trades, and we had good hedges in place that paid off well on our standard 112s. We just didn't hedge the XL 112 trades additionally. It didn't account for those. Got caught in that volatility spike. But the trade has been so solid for years and years and years. Up markets, bear markets, it doesn't matter. It's paid off. In fact, in 2022, I was up over 80% with that as my primary trading strategy. So am I going to scrap the 112? Heck no. It is one of the best trades, bar none, that I think you can put on out there. The only thing you have to make sure that if you're going to campaign these trades, which means I'm going to put one on after another. I'm going to layer them on, and I layer up to potentially 8, which means, but 2 of those usually have the naked puts that come off. So I'm usually layered about 6 deep. What does that mean if you're campaign trading? Well, that means you need a delta hedge in case the market reverses and starts to head down severely. It doesn't mean a slow drawdown. A slow drawdown is going to help us profit a ton like we did in 2022. We want a slow market meltdown. In an uptrending market, we're keeping pace, maybe a couple percentage a month ahead of the market. But in a slow meltdown, that's when the 112s really start to pay off. So great trade. Okay. You've got the naked put that generates income, and then you've got the put debit spread, which helps you generate additional income whenever the market is in a little bit of a bearish mode. But if you're going to drop substantially, and we're talking I hate the word black swan, but if we're talking a 15%, 12, 15% serious, fairly rapid drawdown, maybe even 20%, you got to have those hedges on to protect, which we did. And those hedges paid off substantially on August 5th. So they were great to have on. The other thing, though, that we found, and something we hadn't experienced for years and years and years running this trade, okay, is not the black swan event. We're hedged for that. I feel pretty good about the black swan event, and I feel pretty good about the delta sell-off. So delta hedge, I feel we're in good shape. What we didn't really have on board was a good volatility hedge, because up until this point, a fantastic trade, averaging itself over 30% a year for years and years and years. So we're compounding, we're doubling our money every 2 years with the 112. It's a great trade. Okay? Not scrapping that trade at all. Okay, right now we're in a little cautionary period. We're still doing the 111. We're also doing 112s and other underlyings. So we are still not getting rid of that trade. It is a fantastic trade. We found a hole. The hole in the trade is the volatility. It's not the black swan delta event, which was what everybody was thinking. We had that hedged. What we didn't have figured out was a sudden, crazy, extraordinarily rare volatility event. So we found that hole. Now we're going to plug that hole. We are working on a pretty active solution for it. I've got a couple running right now, but I think we got it pretty much narrowed down. I think we're in good shape. I did a stress test on the account yesterday, and I love the way it performed. If we drop 15, 20%, we actually potentially start making money in this account. So the delta hedge would pay off, but the volatility increases substantially, going from 17-ish here up into that 40 plus range. That's what we are looking to hedge. The way to hedge that simply is that you need a good substantial amount of out of the money puts. Okay. Simply put, that's it. No pun intended. Okay. How do you come up with that? There's a lot of people putting some things together out there. It's not really the black swan hedges, because those may not pay off in a volatility event depending on how new they are. There's been some really great discussions in our group. Igor, who's my partner in Income Navigator, super intelligent trader, has really some really good volatility and delta hedges that he's putting together. And we've had some members really come up with some great stuff as well. I'm experimenting with something new today as well. So we've got a couple trades on. It's just finding the perfect volatility hedge that, even if it costs me a little bit, I just don't want it to cost me a lot and have a huge drag on the portfolio that erases all of these gains. But small hole in the trade, and what we'll do is we'll figure it out and solve that hole. I think we're on the right track. I think we might have that solved already. I need to wait a little bit more, see how this stress test comes out, but we've really been back testing, stress testing, so I think we got it nailed. Okay, but we'll get it figured out. So we have a couple different ones that we're playing with, and a little think tank going on just a better way to have these things come up. So otherwise, I'm loving it. So we will most likely be back to the 1-1-2 trade. So we're just going to stick with the 1-1-1. We're still generating great income from it, less risk, less notional, all good. Okay, we've made some tweaks to the plan to improve the 1-1x bear trap trades, but the volatility piece, perfect. Love where we are. We solved that. I think we have back again the perfect trade. What we're also doing with the 1-1-2s is we're helping adjust those. It's not a set it and forget it and take the naked puts off at 90 or 95 and stuff. I mean, a lot of people have taken that, and that's really the simple stuff that I put out here. There's a lot more adjustments that go on into that trade to make it more profitable. You can start with lower credit. You can start with higher credit. If you've got lower credit, how do you get more credit out of it? Well, you can make more adjustments to the naked puts. You can make adjustments to the put debit spread piece. You can even do some diagonalizing of the trade. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that we're really now just starting to work with the members in the Discord on. Once you get comfortable with the trade, and once we solve the little hole in there on the volatility piece, which again, unfortunate, we learned something, now we're even better. So now, not only do we have a great trade for years, we've now figured out a weakness of it that we've identified. We've got a basic solution. I think we'll have the right solution for that. So it'll be, once again, a great, fantastic trade, but I've not given up on them at all. We will keep trading them. They're paying off in spades, as you saw on oil. We've got them all set up on ES. We've got all of these put debit spreads still left open. We've got plenty of these other 1-1-1 and 1-1-2 trades left over here. So lots of really good stuff going on. Gold, we've got the remnants of a 1-1-1 trade. Copper, we've got a put credit spread that's profitable, 37%. RTY, 39% put credit spread. Bonds, we've got naked puts up 32%. We also added naked calls to this trade as well. So knowing that bonds have a little bit of a weakness right now, and that bonds may be stagnant again till maybe the next rate move, we're turning this naked put into essentially into a strangle. We'll trade those pieces separately. Got a 1-1-2 trade on in bonds, which the put debit spread is up fantastic so far. But it's only 4 days old, so the naked puts, we're just hanging into there. We're quite a ways away. And then we've got another naked put that's just down fractionally in bonds. We've got our SVOL income trade on, and then we've also got our TLT trade on, where we've got a free leap call, and we are also selling covered calls on that as well. We're generating some income as we go. We're most likely going to add some more to it. What did we do today in the account? Okay. So today we added another 111 trade. We added another ES naked put. Okay. And then we added a little bit more unusual, the old FB 112 trade that I've been using as a really great trade for hedging a bit. It still has the naked put component to pay for the wide put debit spread. But what I've done is I've diagonalized that trade a bit. So we've got a shorter term naked put that's paying completely for a very wide, longer term put debit spread. So I'm expecting that that shorter term naked put will decay quicker. It will come off earlier, and I will be left with a very wide put debit spread, adding more delta hedge to the account. Depending on how that trade performs here, especially if we start to decline a bit, depending on how that trade performs, that's going to be potentially another answer for delta hedging. So we've got great delta hedges in place. We are in really, really good shape on the account, loving where we are. Super good stuff that we're coming up with. Igor, some fantastic trades and strategies that he's put out there, some new delta hedges, some great Vega hedges, as well as some really great 112 trades, and we're getting even more innovative with them. But you can see in the account now, we're generating great returns. Once again, we are back. The 112's back. The 111's are back. The 11X bear traps. We've never gone away from them. Okay? We stayed in there. The key for survival, if we have another one of these Volmageddons, is you got to keep your buying power from going into the negative, forcing you to have to liquidate at a really bad time. Okay? That's what got everybody panicking, having to get out, losing the buying power. That's what hurt us a little bit. We were lucky enough to close some of those trades early enough, okay, to free up enough buying power where we didn't have to close the whole book. And then we were able to get new trades back on quickly the next day because we had really a great delta hedge that really paid off well. So we were close, just a little piece away, a little bit more of a Vega hedge to help keep that buying power from skyrocketing on us, which gives us time, okay, to not have to bail out of stuff at the worst moments out there. If the market wasn't open that night, we'd all been in actually better shape because by the time it opened in the morning, those bid asks had come back into alignment a little bit better, but everybody had to get out or wanted to get out in the evening. Totally understandable. I get it. Me too. Okay. So what we found was the little piece, and this is just like any testing for NASA on space shuttles, spaceships. This is for testing on ships and submarines and anything else that you do. There's always a stress test, okay? And we solve that. And then we find after we've launched it that maybe there's another piece that we didn't test that's a rare occurrence. Now we fix that piece. What we're doing is making it more ironclad and more profitable than ever. So anyway, let me let you go for the weekend. I hope you like this video. Stick with us because we're going to keep rocking the 112 and the bear trap trades. We've got better hedges. We've got better vol hedges on this as well. We are on a roll from an income standpoint. So 2 great back-to-back weeks, 2 of the best weeks we've had all year. We're back. We're making money. And if you found this helpful, click that like button down below. We'll get it back there. Okay. Nothing better than a comeback story. And we intend to fully gain this and then some and get back on those big winning ways again. So hope to see you guys there. And if you want to follow what we're doing, come join us in the Discord. You can check out the description below. There's a link for you there if you want to check out what we're doing and find some of those innovative new trades that we've got on for you. We're also really doing a lot with credit spreads, poor man covered calls. Check out the Lazy Trader account in there. I think you're going to love it. And we have some really great small account stuff coming for people out there. So stay tuned. Lots of cool stuff coming your way. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.